Hi, this is Dynamis 333. My brothers and sisters, it just so happens that on the 11th of August, FEMA are planning a nationwide emergency alert test. This test is going to be sent out to TVs, radios, along with select cell phones. So we have Pentecost starting on the evening of the 11th to the evening of 12 on according to the Eastern calendar. Brothers and sisters, it just so happens that on the 11th of August, FEMA are planning a nationwide emergency alert test. This test is going to be sent out to TVs, radios, along with select cell phones. So we have Pentecost starting on the evening of the 11th to the evening of 12 on according to the Eastern calendar. We have the meteorite shower on the 11th to the 12th of August, and we also have the FEMA organizing a nationwide emergency alert test. Do they know something? My brothers and sisters, let's be found doing the will of God.
To sum up what these protests were about. In Britain, in France, Italy, Greece, Australia, people from all walks of life threw caution to the wind in a bid to be heard, to cry out. And the one thing that they all wanted is to say, we're tired and angry. One's first thought may be that this isn't very smart, staging a mass protest in the middle of a pandemic. Worse, while the Delta variant, so much more contagious, is making the rounds. And that is what Australian leaders, for example, latched onto, calling protesters morons.
In relation to yesterday's protest, can I say how absolutely disgusted I was? It broke my heart. Millions and millions of people across our state are doing the right thing, and it just broke my heart that people had such a disregard for their fellow citizens.
What we saw today in Sydney is unfortunately something that we've seen in cities that we all shake our heads at. It's quite clear that, Sydney isn't immune from morons as well.
Except, of course, it isn't that simple. People are weary. They are fatigued by this pandemic, the bad news, the lockdowns, the isolation, all over the world. In that respect, we're all the same. People yearn for freedom and equality.
We are not against vaccines, as they claim. This is not an anti-vaccination movement. These are thinking people who want freedom.
I believe that this is an attack on fundamental freedoms. In France, there is a law saying medical procedures cannot be forced. Freedoms. In France, there is a law saying medical procedures cannot be forced. On fundamental freedoms. In France, there is a law saying medical procedures cannot be forced. Since vaccination is being imposed on us one way or another, the people behind the health passport are behaving like Nazis.
Of crises, and this will continue wreaking havoc on our economy in the coming months. A very dark winter is almost upon us, and the Biden administration is not trying to deny that things are about to get very bad for the American populace. This explains to a large extent why many Americans are being moved by panic and desperation, with many rushing to stockpile in what is fast becoming a shopping frenzy. Those that could still afford to buy essential items like staples, toilet papers, hand sanitizers, and other grocery items go all out in a bid to save for the lockdown, while those at the other spectrum are stuck in long lines at food banks, waiting patiently for food that would sustain them for a day or two. With the election fading in the news, we are still confronted by the fears of a surge in new cases of the virus across the country. This is taking a toll on the public mindset. It has given birth to an insane hoarding behavior and putting a strain on supermarket retailers. They have become overwhelmed by the growing demands, which is as a result of the increased panic buying in a wide range of products. I am certain that the unpleasant memories of March are still fresh on our minds.
Some 6,000 years ago, it wasn't millions of years ago, 6,000 years ago, that was something that happened. But before we discuss the Ice Age, just want to let you guys know that we are in, all right, remember, we're in the Aquarius energy belt, which is a celestial energy belt. This is a cosmic energy belt. This is what Mother Cosmos created. All of the universes, the infinite universes, the universes across the cosmos are infinite. And remember, what makes up the cosmos? The multiverse, the multiple universes all across what you call space. And it's infinite. You can go through as many black holes into different universes, see different planets. None of the planets are the same. Even though the universes mirror each other, one universe is more powerful than the other one. The frequencies. Well, I won't say one universe is more powerful than the other. Let's just not say that. Each universe has a different frequency. We're in the alpha universe, which means that our universe works on alpha frequencies. But our planet, our sun, and the original beings can run on multiple frequencies by linking into different parts of the different universes. We're in the Chronos Sibelius Gate, or the name of a musician. All right, and you got to remember, a lot of the names that they took was from us, because they really didn't have names when they came to our planet.
through the trees, forgot what I was chasing. Spent so many nights living out at sea that my heart has gone vacant. And everybody who was close to me all stayed on dry land. So now I'm driving back on Interstate West. I just gotta feel something. Right here, chilling with my friends for another year. I would walk away from the spotlight for the good life. Oh, come on, turn your hate into poetry, pain into power, and at least your friends and your minutes into hours. I would walk away from the spotlight for the good life, for the good life. And they all said I was crazy for leaving my money. But it never made me happy alone. Life is just too short to never do what you want to. What do you want to do? Oh, I wanna stay right here, chilling with my friends for another year. I would walk away from the spotlight for the good life. Come on.
And as a result, matter forms into a sphere.
distinguished guest, George P. Shultz, former Secretary of State, Distinguished Fellow at Stanford University's Hoover Institution, and author of a recent book, Thinking About the Future. In a rich and varied career that has included roles as U.S. Secretary of State, Secretary of the Treasury, and Secretary of Labor, George Shultz has aided presidents, confronted national and international crises, and argued passionately that the United States has a vital stake in promoting democratic values and institutions here and around the world. In his many speeches, articles, congressional testimony, and conversations with world leaders, Secretary Shultz has shaped policy and public opinion on topics such as technology, terrorism, drugs, and climate change. The result is a body of work that has influenced the decisions of nations and leaders and impacted the lives of ordinary people. In his newest book, Thinking About the Future, Secretary Shultz has collected and revisited key writings of his own, applying his past thinking to America's most pressing contemporary problems. In the more than half a century since Secretary Shultz entered public life, the world has changed dramatically, but he remains guided by the belief that you can learn about the future, or at least relate to it, by studying the past and identifying principles that have continuing application to our lives and our world.
Your papers, please.
Mr. Nick Rivers.
We have been awaiting the arrival of the famous American singer.
Where are they taking him?
They are not taking him anywhere.
See your papers?
I don't think I have them on me.
In that case, we'll have to ask you to come along.
But it's possible that, yes. Here we are.
These papers expired 3 weeks ago. You'll have to come along. Halt!